We lost. We lost bad.
That
We
was a
lost ugly.
that was a stinker, man. Um, yeah, that was a a very very disappointing game, and there's a lot of things that you can point that at, right? I mean, there's a slew of things that were pretty apparent to the viewer that I don't know. That still, a day after, I still feel like that game was maybe the most winnable game of this entire season. And we just let it slip between our fingers. And man, as we talked about last week, was you run the ball. This is one of the worst run defenses in the league. They barely ran the ball, man. Like the craziest thing. Here it is. Jerome Ford had 65 yards total. You want to guess how many attempts he had? Take a guess.
I want
65 yards.
I want to say 10.
Nine. He had nine rushing attempts, an average of 7.2. It's working. Kareem Hunt, seven attempts, 22 yards. Like, I don't know. DTR, five rushing attempts, 21 yards, average of 4.2. Like, these are extremely good numbers. Every time Jerome Ford had the ball, big chunk plays, and you only give him nine times? Like, oh man, that number should have been in the 20s, in my opinion. You know, it is such a sore loss because, like I said, that game watching it was like just run the ball. It's working. It's consistently working. And then you see three throws in a row. And even if they're good throws, and I'll say DTR didn't have the most amazing game. A lot of his throws, especially early on, were behind the receiver. But there's a few that are just is not okay to drop. Some of those throws were just, I mean, you need to catch those balls. And it's the second week in a row Njoku struggled with catching the ball. It's the second week in a row that he dropped a touchdown in the end zone. Um, Hit him right in the hands. And it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, DTR went out right with a concussion, head injury, but I mean, 14 for 29, 135 and a touchdown. Man, those numbers aren't terrible, but the completion percentage is 48 on that, and there's I don't know 4 or 5 catches that were just dropped, and nice chunk plays. I mean, the one that also stands out to me is that throw to Njoku over the middle, and he had it like this right here, and he was running. He was already gonna get past. There was like three guys right there, open field for like 20 plus yards after the like that. Those yak yards would have been crazy, but he dropped it, smacked him right in his hands. Wasn't behind him, it was perfect, and he dropped it. And that is how you lose games, man. Is just not being able to catch the freaking ball. And as we've been singing Kevin's praises the last few weeks, dude, you run the ball. I mean, it's there every time you saw Jerome Ford touch the ball. It's 8, 9, 10 yards. He killed it. Um, I don't know. This is definitely one of the more I don't know what the hell that was kind of games, and we were never in it the entire time. We were never in that game.
I disagree. Um, it was I can't say that. I mean, like you said in the beginning, and the Browns had a very good chance of winning that game. I think it just took them a little longer to get into what they should have been doing. Um, they had to put themselves in a situation where they had to throw the ball as many times as they did. A lot of third and longs, a lot of second and longs. Um, and you gotta toss the ball around. You can't run the ball on 3rd and 10. Um, but from what I see in this game, um, yes, they should have ran the ball more, but in the defense of Kevin Stefanski, you're going up against the 32nd ranked defense in the league, who's had struggles all year stopping the run and the pass. Um, what better way to get your rookie quarterback confident and rolling by starting off the game by him tossing the ball around? Um, I mean, first first three drives, it's a little excusable, but at a certain point, you got to realize that you're the second ranked rushing team in the league, and they're the worst rushing defense in the league. And then you got to start running the ball there. You got to put a lot of it on the receiving core. I think it's not just Njoku. I think Amari had a very bad game too.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
it just a lot of drops cost you a lot of big time plays in this game. Um, a lot of momentum was going towards the Browns midway through that third quarter.
Sure.
Um, and I think DTR played a pretty solid game.
Agreed.
Um, Stefanski, I don't hate his game plan. I understand it. I don't. I'm not completely against it. I
Yeah.
just thought it took him a little more time, like too much time to get into what they should have been doing. Um, I think he got a little too cute. It cost
Well,
us.
yeah, with the Elijah
It
Moore
cost.
to PJ or Strong. Yeah, I mean that was
It's just
you didn't need to
it.
do that.
Yeah, I mean, you had that, and it's like we're trying new plays that we haven't done yet. And have we seen a reverse where the ball is getting tossed to PJ Strong? Yeah, I mean Pierre
Pierre
Strong. No.
Strong.
Have we seen Harrison Bryant go under center? Yes. And it's a fumbled snap. A tight end doesn't go under center occasionally, but we've seen it a lot this year. Um, and most of the time that formation has worked. So that at least is excusable.
But then you get
The
that James
reverse,
Hudson
reverse is
penalty.
the real head scratcher for me.
Yeah.
It I don't think it was the right time to call it. Considering it was the first play you're coming out of that injury timeout to DTR. Um, but I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over this game. Browns are coming off back-to-back wins in their division. Um, they're on a 2-game road trip. Now they're moving on to LA. I think this was a trap game for them.
Yeah,
Looking at it
that's even
as
what you said last week,
I mean, I mean, it played out kind of the way I thought it would play out. Um, I mean, I just think there was a lot of penalties in this game that were a boneheaded mistakes.
Yes.
Two, there was a lot of penalties I thought that shouldn't even been called. Um, but
Like
found their
specifically, how do you feel about that Greg uh pass interference against Sutton?
it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Also,
put
I wanna get your thought about that matchup. How do you feel about Greg on Cortland Sutton?
um that was a real head scratcher, but
Yeah. I thought about that. I'm like, well, Cortland Sutton is like a big body receiver, and Greg's probably our smallest corner we have on the entire roster.
yeah,
And you'd
but
think I mean, although Martin Emerson basically shut out Jerry Judy the entire game, it just didn't feel like the perfect matchup there. But
I mean at the same time, look at the game Cortland Sutton had. He really didn't do all too much. I mean, he had
yeah,
like 30 yards receiving. He
yeah,
was
compared
targeted
to
like
the prior weeks, absolutely.
yeah, I mean, he was targeted a lot and he made nothing happen. It's it was a definitely a size mismatch, but um, you know what? He really didn't do all that much. I mean, the biggest play of the game was that 35-yard pass interference.
Yeah,
That was a real tight wad
yeah,
kind of call. But I will say this: I thought the refs were calling a lot of those penalties on both sides, where it probably shouldn't have been a penalty, but it was.
Hmm.
Like there was a face mask on Jerome Ford. That wasn't a face mask.
It was like a caught finger I saw when they
It
slowed
was
it
a caught
down.
finger, not even on the face mask. It was caught. He didn't even hook the ear hole, which
Yeah,
is
it was like
also
right around
considered.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's not a penalty, but it's like the ref. The ref is calling this in the middle of the game. They're human. They're not going to see that. And they saw the head move, and they saw the hand in that area, so they're going to call it. Um, I I just I don't really have much to say about this game because of this situation that we've been in. It's just the injuries have been the theme of the year, and it
Yeah.
keeps on stacking up. And losing DTR in that game, it just felt like the game ended there. Um,
It definitely did. Yeah, the
and
second PJ came in where I
and
was
I
very much like, I don't
he I thought that was by far PJ's worst game. Um, I mean, even like it just there wasn't a lot of time for him in that pocket because they started really bringing the house once he
yeah.
came in. Um, they started to adjust, and I didn't see any screens in that game, and that's what kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
Um, there
It
just
was just
wasn't.
it was a very weird offensive performance where I felt like I was watching like a very poorly paced movie, right? Where I just feel like certain things were slow, where I felt like they should have been fast, and I feel like things that were going fast should have been a little bit slower and a little bit different that I think it should have happened. But I mean, overall, I think DTR actually did have a good game outside of a few drops. And I wish I wish it was a little bit more balanced, and they actually ran the ball more. I think this game, we still might have lost it, but I still feel like it could have been a lot closer than what it was. Um, and just a few. Obviously, we talked about penalties. I mean, James Hudson. Miles Garrett had a few. It just wasn't a pretty game. A little bit sloppy on our end as well, but
Mhm.
what are you gonna do? I mean, this is a team that is, like you said, it's ravaged with injuries, and I mean, we're 7-4. We had 7 wins. I mean, that's as a Browns fan. I mean, I used to pray for 5, so I mean, I'm not fasting right
I
now.
mean, I think
Um,
I think the situation we're in right now, and I don't want to get our hopes up, but like looking at how the rest of the AFC playoff picture is going right now, I think about 3 wins should get you in. Um, you're looking down the line. You have Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh's going to find their way in with the remainder of the schedule they have. Um, you have Denver, who's been very hot, that I could see them finding
five
their
in a
way in.
row.
Houston, they're playing really tough. They'll find their way in.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's still at the top of their division, and they
Yep.
gained another game on Houston yesterday. The Colts playing some good ball.
Yeah,
Buffalo dropping another big game where they could have gained some ground.
I know.
Um, it's just the Browns just got to put a couple wins together to just get in.
Agreed.
Um,
And that's
it's
including, we still have the Jets. We still have Cincinnati. There's a few games in there that I
we
feel like
still
we can
got the
pull.
Bears at home.
We still got the Bears, and they're playing, tonight at the moment, Monday night, and I don't know.
If I could tell
That's
you how the rest of the season will go and just make my prediction per game, I think it's a loss this week and a tight one. Um, you come home, play the Jaguars, win that one,
that'd be crazy.
win against the Bears at home, lose against the Jets, and the game season on the line in Cincinnati.
I could see that happening. I will say, going into this week, I don't want to talk about too much, but it's looking like it's going to be the Joe Flacco experience this weekend.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Well,
DTR obviously did leave with a head injury, and it's, I guess,
not
ruled a
looking.
concussion at the moment. So um, that basically puts him out this week.
Yep.
So
I
it's PJ Walker or Joe Flacco. Uh,
think it's Joe Flacco all day.
it's Flacco all day, especially what we saw with PJ when he came in. I have zero interest of watching a PJ Walker game again. Um, One person I do want, we can wrap this up here in a second, but I will say one person I was actually pleasantly surprised with because we've been calling his name of like, where is he? Cedric Tillman had a very nice game.
Yeah.
Of all people that did have a good game, it was Cedric Tillman, man. 4 catches, 55 yards. He looked great. Um,
Hmm.
just big body receiver, went up there and got a few nice balls and uh yeah, fan of it, man. Keep that going. But yeah, like I
Can
said,
I can I give one can I give one game ball out?
should go for it.
I mean, like, god damn, you want to talk about a performance yesterday. JOK.
Oh, dude.
Oh
Oh my God.
man.
What
What
an
a
animal.
game. What
Yeah,
a game.
that
I
was
mean,
really nice.
if there was if there was any side of the ball that needed some life, it was the defense yesterday because they were just trying to get through that game. I mean, it wasn't I mean they had to fight to get stops and it was they were put in a lot of tough spots the
Yeah.
whole game. It was not easy for them. It was just a real big arm twister for them. And they found a way. JOK making big plays almost for the majority of that game. I think he had about like almost 15 tackles, a sack.
Yeah. This
I think he
it
almost
was
had
it
it.
was it was play after play just blow up in the backfield. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That was a very nice performance by him and hopefully he can do it again this upcoming week because that's definitely needed.
You ain't lying. LA Rams.
LA Rams, I actually put up a huge number against the Cardinals. And Matt
I
Stafford
mean,
looked like Matt Stafford, so
uh, we've seen what that Arizona defense looks like. So
yeah, we
um,
saw it.
I think
Yeah,
well we can dive into that for our next video, but
definitely.
that's all I gotta say, man.
All right.
Well, go
Well,
Browns.
after that, well, definitely go Browns. Thanks for watching, guys. Later on in the week, we'll be covering this upcoming game, so appreciate it. Go Browns.
Go Browns.